Hi everyone, it's Kim Vapney, the Vagina Coach, and in this video we are going to go through a return to running workout. So these are all of the prerequisites that need to be done ideally prior to the return to run after you have given birth. More and more research is pointing to the fact that we need a certain amount of time to have elapsed after we've given birth, and we need guidance from a pelvic floor physical therapist. So those are two immediate prerequisites, with the time being 3 months at a very bare minimum and 6 months ideally. So 3 to 6 months postpartum before returning to running, and having sought out the guidance and the evaluation from a pelvic floor physical therapist who has also then evaluated your pelvic floor for certain prerequisite activations of the pelvic floor muscles themselves, and then also moved you on to some prerequisite exercises as well. Once the prerequisite time of 3 to 6 months has passed and now you're seeing your pelvic floor physical therapist, they are going to evaluate you and grade your pelvic floor on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best and 1 being you've got some work to do. We want to have a minimum score of 3 out of 5 prior to going back to running postpartum, as long as we've also met that time prerequisite of 3 to 6 months. Once you've met the grade 3 out of 5 as a minimum, they're also going to assess you in standing, and they want to assess the following. So we're going to go through this together. First is you want to be able to do 10 quick contract releases. So essentially 10 Kegels where you contract, lift, and let go quickly 10 times. So we're going to do that now. You've all probably seen my core breath video. When we do quick contract releases, we aren't necessarily going to add that breath just because we could potentially start to hyperventilate. So usually this is after you've become familiar with what a pelvic floor activation is, what a Kegel exercise is, and then you're going to do it quickly. So you're not going to be able to see me here, but I'm just going to use my hands to mimic what's happening on the inside, what my pelvic floor is doing. Okay, so quick contract release 10 times. Last one. So ideally your pelvic floor physio is actually evaluating you with a finger inside your vagina while you are standing and while you are doing those quick contract releases. Next, we want to do a max contraction. So we want to think about doing the hardest Kegel we've ever done. And we want to be able to hold that for about 6 seconds. And then we are going to repeat that between 8 to 12 times. Okay, so I'm going to do a max contraction here. You could add the core breath if you want. Exhale, max contraction, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. There's 1 repetition. Exhale, activate, max contraction, strongest contraction. Think about lifting up a piano. Hold, 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 hold. 4, 5, 6, relax. And that's 2. Let's do a third. Max contraction, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Number 4, exhale. Hold that max contraction. 3, 4, 5, 6, and release. Good. We've got number 5, I think we're on now. Exhale. Activate, hold, max contraction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release. Number 6, exhale, activate, max contraction. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. Good. Exhale, max contraction. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, max contraction, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, release. Last one. Exhale, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and release. Good. Now we want to do a sub-max contraction. So that was thinking about using maximum 100% effort. Now we want to back that up to between 30 and 50% of that max contraction, and we're going to hold it for a minute. Okay, so we're going to think of inhale, release. Now we're going to exhale, sub-contraction. So just a gentle contraction, and we're going to hold it here for 1 minute. Okay, I'm counting in my head. I'll let you know every 10 seconds. There's 10. Keep holding. There's 20, we have 40 seconds more. There's 30 seconds, we're halfway. There's 40, 20 seconds left, keep holding. Good, last 10 seconds, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, so those are all of the prerequisite pelvic floor activation exercises that you need to be able to do. And now we're going to move on to the next step, which is prerequisite movement exercises. So the first prerequisite exercise is actually to be able to go for a walk for 30 minutes without any symptoms. So we don't want to have any heaviness, no senses of bulging or something being in the vagina, no pain in and around the pelvis, and no incontinence, so urgency or leaking. So those are kind of the prerequisites we need for being able to walk for 30 minutes. That's your first exercise. Next, we want to be able to stand on one leg. So just doesn't matter which leg you start with. So I'm going to stand on one leg, and we want to be able to stand here for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Now we're going to move on to the next exercise. So the next one is, I have a list here because we have quite a few. We want to be able to do a single leg squat. So this is something that I'm actually still working on. So if you watch my legs when I'm doing this, you'll see I don't quite have the control in my hips to be able to manage a single leg squat. But let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to do 10 repetitions. So we're going to go down, up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we have to do the same thing on the other side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so you can see that I need some work on these, so I practice these still, actually not as much as I really should, but if we aren't able to meet these tasks, they also become the exercise that we're going to be practicing during our workouts. So doing more single leg squats will help me become better at single leg squats. Next exercise, we are going to jog on the spot for 1 minute. Okay, here we go. Again, I'm counting, and I will let you know every 10 seconds. There's 10. There's 20. There's 30, we're halfway. There's 40. $50, last 10. And we're done. Okay, so no symptoms of heaviness, no leaking, no pressure, no pain. If you can, then you've passed that test. Next one we are going to do is we are going to do hop in place. So standing on one leg. Now we're going to hop in place. You want to be able to do 10 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, we have to do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Next one we are doing is forward bounds. So I'm going to have to go forward and then back, forward and back. If you have a big long sidewalk, or if you're outside, you can do these 10 in a row. I'm just gonna have to, because of the space here, I'm gonna have to do forward and back. So you're gonna have to see my bum. Okay, so a forward bound is essentially you're bending down into a squat and you're going to leap forward. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, last exercise. Let me make sure I've got all of these. Single leg running man, 10 times. So you're coming into kind of a lunge, and then we're gonna be propelling ourselves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. All right, we're done. So those are all prerequisites, and they are also things you can be doing for a workout. So that could be a workout in and of itself as you are preparing yourself to go back to running. And you just want to make sure that you are, again, able to do all of those without symptoms. You're able to do those without, if you saw in my one leg squat, I'm not quite able to control that movement. So I need to work a little bit more on my lateral hips and mobility to help me be able to do that more effectively. So I'm a grade 3 out of 5. I can do most other things. I could probably go back to running right now if I really wanted to. I actually just the other day went on a quick 7-minute, because I needed to get back for a call run that felt really good. However, I know that I've given birth twice vaginally. I have experienced prolapse. I've had a surgery for one of my prolapse, and I also have a partial avulsion. So part of the muscle is not quite all on the bone on this side. So I'm at a greater risk of prolapse. So for me, the risks are greater than the rewards. And if I did ever want to go back to regular running, or if I wanted to go on an extended run, I would most likely use something like a poise impressa or a pessary of some sort to provide extra support, knowing that I do have a greater risk of prolapse. So for me, running is not something that I am actively trying to go back to or actively doing. I'm choosing other activities instead. That's for me, that's my body, those are my choices. But I think we all deserve information that will allow us to make these informed choices. So I hope you found this helpful. Remember, all of these are prerequisite exercises, but they are also exercises you can do in your workouts to help build up your capacity to do them effectively, which will guide you back to being able to return to run without pain, without incontinence, all the things that could potentially hold us back. Thanks so much for working out with me today. We'll see you next time.